we'll explain here in a second. But first, I want to go into what is driving people. Because it's not, the caliphate is driving some. But this whole crowd, this isn't driven by the caliphate. What's driving the average Egyptian? What has changed? They've had Mubarak for 30 years. Why all of a sudden? What's happened? Well, there's a couple of things, and you'll understand it by today and tomorrow. You will understand there are strings being pulled. You're watching a well-orchestrated campaign. But it all really started for the average person with food. Now, I've been made fun of relentlessly for talking about being prepared. I know. I have some nerve telling people, live like your grandparents. You know, get prepared. Maybe do some canning like Grandma used to, or have some food down in the basement, because food prices are going to rise. Yeah. I also said be prepared spiritually. Right? Look, that's what this is all about. Enlightenment, education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. Now, what does empowerment mean? What does that mean? Empowerment means don't be a slave to someone else. What is the easiest way to have you enslaved? Food. If you don't have food, people can play you. Please, if you take anything away from this show, please be prepared. Look at Egypt right now. These were people that were not prepared. Nobody warned them. People are now waiting in long lines in order to get a loaf of bread. Grocery stores have boarded up their windows and their doors. They can't get food. So now you have angry people, and we've thrown in a little hunger into the mix. That's a deadly combination. Prepare. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to being played. No, that's Egypt. It'll never happen here. Really? Never happen here. Let me try to explain it this way. We're now at the tip of the iceberg with this unrest. Oil closed at $90 today, just over $90, in which each new protest, and as things begin to decay, and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. Maybe I'm wrong. But as this thing begins to light a fire all across the globe, as each government dissolves, the price of oil is only going to get higher. In December of 2007, remember, oil was at the same price that it is now. It was in December. It was at $90 a barrel, and this is when everybody was saying, oh, it's fantastic. It's great. Here's January. Look at, as crude oil prices go up, housing prices go down. 6 months later, after it hit $140 a barrel, we had the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Today, oil hit the high of $92 a barrel. Will it, that's during trading, will it go up? Will it go down? I don't know. How high will the price of energy rise this time around? Maybe it's $80 a barrel. Maybe it's 100. Maybe 150. 150 we don't withstand. What happens if radicals take over Egypt and the Suez Canal is shut down? More than 4 million barrels a day of crude oil are shipped through the Suez Canal. I almost said Panama Canal because some other dope on TV said that the other day. A pipeline runs adjacent to it. What happens? What happens if ships have to go all the way around the southern tip of Africa? What does that cost? Is it now $200 a barrel? America can't sustain energy cost at $125 a barrel. If you take anything from this show, prepare. But let me go back now to the one word that nobody is really explaining because it's crazy town. It's crazy town. And maybe it is. But the people who are planning it, the people who want change, they don't think it's crazy. It's caliphate. And it's a system of government established in Islam. It represents political unity of the Muslim community, and it is governed by Islamic law. It is a theocracy. That's all it is. All Islamic governments would unify under a caliphate. History has seen them before, the last one being the Ottoman Empire. We haven't seen one since 1923. That's when the Ottoman Empire shut down. This is what groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, who we'll get into in just a minute, really want. Their offspring, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas. Hezbollah is the offspring, really, of the crazy radicals that want a caliphate in Iran. Muslim Brotherhood, that is Hamas. Listen to what the foreign minister of Iran said today. With the knowledge that I have of the great revolutionary and history-making people of Egypt, I am sure they will play their role in creating an Islamic Middle East. That's a caliphate. So, what happens? Well, unrest could spread like wildfire across the Middle East and into Europe. We're already seeing it. It's called the coming insurrection. Well, what happens if caliphate is established? Is it even realistic? Last night I talked about this on the program, and I said to my producers, I said, can we just call some experts and see it? Think I'm insane? Well, they think that some of the things that I'm about to show you are less likely. None of them had a problem with the Middle East part. They have more confidence in Europe than I do. I've seen France fight. Now, worst case scenario, may not happen. But this is the goal of many of the people that are pulling the strings in the Middle East. Here's how a caliphate would play out. You have Somalia and Iran already in green. Now let's add Tunisia. Former Tunisian government was considered one of the most secular and corrupt governments in the Arab world. The poor and the angry demanded changes. Most dangerous scenario is that radical Muslims seize power and put Sharia law into place. Same thing now with Egypt. Here is Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood want this. They want a power grab from Mubarak. He's going to resign in September, he said just a few minutes ago. People are upset. Mubarak take a hard line against Israel, maintained a peace treaty with them. The Muslim Brotherhood, as you'll see in a minute, take a hard line against Israel. This could very easily be 1979 Iran. Then you have Jordan. The king is already considered a puppet because he sides with Western forces. Today, he said he's going to change out his government. Then you have Syria here. Here's Jordan. Here's Syria. Syria is already a puppet of the Iranians. Then you have Yemen. This is Saudi Arabia. All of your oil comes from here. Do you see what's happening? All of your oil. You get your oil from here and here. How does that happen? And you have Lebanon. Iranian-backed Hezbollah is in the driver's seat of their government. If you go back to Africa, you have Nigeria. Parts of the country are already controlled by Sharia law. Somalia, most of the country right now is living under Islamic law. Sudan, the country is split in the Sudan. The north is imposing Sharia law already. The south is largely Christian. They're slaughtering each other. Here's Algeria. Notice its location. Algeria. Al-Qaeda already has a significant presence there. Then you have the Ivory Coast down here. The election turmoil is going on right now between Christians and the new Islamic president. Then you have all the other ones that are on a tipping point, already a hotbed of Al-Qaeda activity. Libya has already been anti-Israel, pro-terrorism for a long time. Then you have Morocco. Morocco, important, significant Al-Qaeda activity. The king has been battling, but if you go back here, you have, remember, this is Iraq. Look at what you're surrounded by. Iraq is really important, especially to the Shiites, especially to the Kurds who are in charge of this country right now. Because what is in Iraq? There's one place that we told our bombers not to bomb. Does anybody know what it was? 2 wars in Iraq. We said, no bombing there. Ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon. Why? Because the Bible tells us that that is the seat right here of power of a global evil empire. Well, that's also where the 12th Imam from Iran is supposedly going to show up. Everybody on this side wants ancient Babylon for their caliphate. Turkey was originally the seat of the Ottoman Empire, the last caliphate. It's now modern-day Turkey. It has an Islamist government that is moving aggressively pro-Iran, anti-Israel. Saudi Arabia, God help them, I don't know what happens to those guys. And the Gulf states that are all nearly defenseless and tiny, all of them, throw them in. You have it? Now what happens? You move over to Asia and you grab the ones. Once this domino starts to fall, and the Muslims start to see, oh my gosh, we might have a caliphate. we might be able to have Islam